Yes, D-Dos, I hope you are comfortable with your arrangements that I have made for you.
You hope I'm comfortable? Bro, I can't wait. I can't wait till DW finds out that you had me locked up down here, man. This is completely unnecessary. I don't know if you heard or not. It may have been a big thing down here in Louisiana. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. But I'm not big on chains and being locked away. I'm kind of getting a little bit of anxiety.
Don't worry. I will be taking those chains off you soon. But I need you to help me with something first.
Byron, your ass is going down. You're going to jail, bro. You could have let me go a long time ago. I'm starving to death. That's like war crimes and stuff, man. Just let me go. Cut me loose. DW's looking for me as we speak.
Don't worry, Doc Waters is not looking for you at all. I told him once you are done, you will meet him in the studio.
You did what?
Don't worry.
Bro, you're going to prison. You're going to, what do you call down here? The parish prison? You're going to parish prison, bro.
Yes. I hope you don't have a problem with getting your hands dirty.
What the hell you got going now? Hands dirty?
I need you to come with me, and we're going to pick someone up.
Byron, your ass is going down. You're going to jail, bro.
No, don't worry. It is a big surprise.
Hey, I don't want any trouble. That's your business. I don't want any involvement. I don't want to know names.
They know that we are coming for them. I have already told them.
Yeah, you bad. I bet they're just waiting to come and have a party with old Byron.
Don't worry. They are aware of what is going on.
Whatever you say, man. As long as I can get out of these chains, get me a cold beer, food, and a cigarette in that order.
Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Here is the key to your chains.
Like the key? Like for real? Like when you were eating chicken right in front of me? Is it one of those sick jokes like that?
I promise you, after this is done, you will be free to go around and do whatever you want to do.
You know, Byron, I was free to go around and do whatever I wanted to do before you kidnapped me for literally nothing at all.
Yes. This is going to be fun.
Byron, your ass is going down. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you know how to drive a car?
Do I know how to drive a car? Yes, I know how to drive a car. I drove here to Louisiana.
I do not have a driver's license. I do not want to get pulled over by the police on the way.
Yes, Lord forbid that law enforcement pull us over with you behind the wheel.
Make a left when you go out of the driveway and get on the interstate.
Oh man, please, can we stop and get something to eat? We passed the Subway, we've passed the Chick-fil-A, we passed 3 Popeyes. Can we stop at a convenience store? There's a gas station coming up right here. Can we stop there? I mean, come on, we've been driving for what seems like forever.
Of course we can stop and get you something to eat and drink. Don't worry, I will take good care of you because you are helping me with this. Go over there to McDonald's and get whatever you want. Yes, turn right here.
What the hell kind of neighborhood you bring us to, old-timer? There's cats walking around with machine guns.
Yes, I know this is a bad neighborhood, but they pose no threat to you at all.
No, I'm not worried about them posing no threat. I mean, I can handle my own. I would have handled you if you weren't on the juice and using magic.
Get what you want, and then we shall get on the road.
Yeah, more driving, huh? Byron, I don't know what you're doing, and honestly, I don't want to know. All I know is kidnapping's against the law in the state of Louisiana. What crime are we going to go commit next?
Man, so many people talk about Bigfoot and Dogman being on the same property and getting along. Well, let me tell you something. Nothing can be further away from the truth, and I call 100% BS when people say things like that. And let me tell you something else. I've heard all these stories on the internet about Bigfoot whooping up on Dogman, and that is not true. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. I have witnessed 2 conflicts, not 1, 2 conflicts between Dogman and Bigfoot. And both times, the Bigfoots got their behind whipped. But let me start with this. My property is right off Highway 142, just south of the state line. And this property has been in our family for 50 years. And over those years, I've heard and seen many things. Now, I've always known about the boogers on the backside of the property. I know exactly where they come from, the wildlife refuge back up in there, and I even been in that refuge when I wasn't supposed to hunting deer and seen them. So for me, seeing a Bigfoot is like seeing a car drive down the road. I understand them, know what to expect, know what to do and what not to do. Now, these events happened in July 2017. I'm back there cutting down brush. I wanted to set up a tree stand so I could do some hunting. Now, mind you, I've never seen Dogman before. Didn't know that they existed. Never knew that they were a huge phenomenon on the internet. I'm back there just doing work when I see these young Bigfoots. Now, I know these are young Bigfoots because they climbing up in the trees, throwing small branches, just doing what they do. And full disclosure for the record, I've only once been in the presence of a Bigfoot and felt like I was in danger. And that was when I was over in that wildlife refuge at night taking a deer. Now, I'm not 100% certain if that area that I was in was like their sanctuary or their hunting ground, or maybe it was their backyard for all I know. But I was in there at night and entire trees started shaking. I'm talking about moving like they're coming up from the roots. And I realized, no. I'm just going to back up out of here and leave this deer for y'all. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm there on the back side of my property. The young ones are up in the trees, peeking around the side, looking at me. Well, I decide the best thing to do is ignore them. Get the work done and get the hell out of there. Because normally when you see some smaller Bigfoot up in the tree, mama or daddy or uncle or sister or somebody else is around. About 10 minutes pass. Then things start to feel different. And when I say different, I mean ominous. This heavy feeling started to come over me. And I need you to understand, this feeling was palpable. Something had changed over the last 10 minutes. So much so that I'm looking around because now I feel like there's a predator in the area. But it was still kind of weird and it's hard to explain. So let me put it to you like this. Have you ever been out with your friends, you go out to a bar room and go get a drink, one of your buddies gets too drunk, he's over there acting a fool, clowning around, and you get this feeling that somebody's staring at you with just bad intentions? That's what it reminded me of. Me and my friends being out at the bar room, hanging around, and then back over in the corner of the room is the bouncer. And he's looking at you, saying, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, I'm finna come over there and smash your freaking head through the wall. That's the best way I can describe this feeling that I was having. And like I said, it was like that for a solid 10 minutes. Then all hell broke loose. Because you can hear something further off in the woods behind those Bigfoots. And let me pause right here so you can understand. I'm in front of them. They're peeking at me like I'm some kind of TV channel. Behind them is this sound that I'm hearing. And that sounded like something coming on all fours. But it's moving fast and it's not being quiet. You can hear this heavy panting and breathing. Then whatever it was jumped into the trees because you could hear the tree limbs breaking from its weight. And now it's moving through the trees. Now listen, I'm not sure if you ever heard a juvenile Bigfoot in distress. But boy, let me tell you, it's one of the worst sounds I ever heard. It's like giant chimpanzees screaming for their mama and daddy. Those things all start jumping from tree to tree. I mean, they dropped the whole hiding from me, playing around. They are screaming and jumping and swinging like something from those Nature Channel documentaries where they show the African monkeys swinging from tree to tree. Except for these monkeys are 8 times bigger than anything I've ever seen. It was right there in that moment when I saw Dogman, but did not know what I was seeing at that time. I figured they had gotten way too close to me or did something wrong and the parents were coming to put them in check. But I need you to understand how fast this thing was moving. It was like within 10 to 15 seconds, it had closed that long distance and now was in a tree 35 yards away from me. It's way the hell up in the tree. I know it is because the tree itself is still swinging back and forth from this thing's weight. But then it opens up the top of the tree branches like you and I were open curtains to a window. This thing looks down at me. It's jet black. These sharp ears rolled forward. They look like 2 freaking antennas. And I need you to understand, it's 35, 40 yards away, but it's so big I can see everything clear. these giant, massive yellow eyes with black pupils, and it looks at me. Not with this aggressive look, but this look of disappointment like, oh, it's just you. I'm not here for you. Then its left ear rotates on its own like it's listening. It turns its head, jumps down out of the freaking tree like a superhero. Not straight down. It jumps up, out, and down 40 yards, hits the ground, takes 2 steps, and takes off like something from a cartoon. A blur. All you see is a furry blur as this thing gets to running. Now pause right here for a moment because I need to make you understand what I was thinking in the moment when all of this went down. I know what I heard. I know what I saw. I knew that Bigfoot exists and baby Bigfoots existed. But I had no reference for this thing. It had a short snout, and I'm thinking, okay. So I'm not sure what they did, but man, they in trouble with their parents. I'm just gonna go back up to the house and let them take care of whatever the hell this problem is, because it doesn't involve me. So I get back on my side by side and leave. And I need you to understand, even though I was riding away, I wasn't in fear for my life, because I'm thinking that this is just a Bigfoot going after and disciplining his kid. So I get to the house. My wife gets off work and asks about my date. I tell her what I saw, and she comes into agreement with me saying it sounds like those kids were out of control and it was just the parents dealing with them. So I'm thinking, okay, well, that's it. The situation is over. I don't have anything to worry about, right? I let 2 days pass and I'm saying to myself, okay, that situation has got to be over. I'm finna go back out there and start doing what I need to do. The third day rolls around. I'm back there clearing the brush on the backside of the property, running a chainsaw, and them juvenile Bigfoots is back. This time, they're peeking at me from around the trees, doing what they did before, and I say out loud, didn't y'all get in trouble for this last time? And I tell them, go away, let me get back to work before all that happens again. A solid hour passes. I got everything cleared, a perfect location for me to set up 2 different hunting blinds. So now I'm kind of moseying around, taking my time, putting my equipment in the side by side, and I hear it again. It sounds like the same thing coming. This running and this heavy breathing. But this time it's not on all 4s. It's on 2 legs, but it's making the exact huffing and breathing sound I heard before. That's when them juvenile Bigfoots start making all that noise again, sounding like a bunch of damn chimpanzees. But I noticed this time they're not running off. Imagine a scene. I'm standing there, I'm hearing that noise, I'm noticing them, I'm saying to myself, okay, this is about to go down again. So now I'm getting on my side by side, and bro, listen, I'm gonna say it went dead quiet because all I could hear was this thing moving. Then I heard this roar. And I ain't talking about no scream. I mean a roar so loud that my ears started ringing. Then the trees got to moving. And what I mean by this is like the roots of the trees got to moving. Earth around the base of the tree started shaking and cracking. And right there in that moment is when I got a clear sighting of what I call Daddy Bigfoot. It could have been their uncle or their cousin. I don't know how the whole family dynamic works. But all I know was this thing was big, 12, 13 feet tall, black and brown, all muscle, big head, no neck. And understand this thing is not putting on airs. It's not hiding. It's right there between 2 trees where I can see it, but it's not looking in my direction. It's looking in the direction of whatever is running towards it. Now listen, pause for a second and let me explain something to you. I can't tell you what these creatures are thinking. But what I can tell you is what I was thinking in that moment. What I was thinking to myself was, whatever I saw days ago, it was big, it was muscular, it was powerful, and it was pretty freaking scary. However, in comparison to what I was looking at, this Bigfoot, there was no freaking comparison. Because this thing was massive. It's just standing there with these long arms hanging down to its side, swaying back and forth, left to right. It was right then and there while I was making that observation that everything in my mind went completely quiet. I couldn't hear that breathing anymore. I didn't hear a leaf rustling, a twig snapping, nothing. Now, before I explain to you what happens next, I need to preference it with some things. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't really listen to Bigfoot Dogman content. It's not my thing. I only decided to share my encounter when I heard what people were saying about Bigfoot whooping up on this Dogman creature. Because what I experienced was the exact opposite. Now, I'm not sure if I'm explaining this to you the right way, but I'm going to reiterate it to you. I saw the initial attack, but after that, everything happened so fast, the only thing I was seeing was the damage of them fighting. Now that I've explained that to you, here's exactly what I saw. Everything goes quiet. There's no more huffing, no more breathing, no more moving, nothing. Then that big black snouted thing, which I'm calling Dogman at this point in time, comes flying through the trees. Not like it jumped out of the tree, like it jumped from the ground through the trees. And I remember when I was a kid, we used to say this thing when people were messing around with you, like, if you keep messing with me, I'm gonna get in your chest, like I'm gonna punch you in your chest. Well, I literally watched that Dogman jump dead into the chest of this Bigfoot while it was swaying back and forth. Now listen, I don't know if these things had fought before or if this was the first time a Bigfoot dealt with this, but it seemed to me like it didn't react until it was hit. But the best way I can describe the impact to you was like a 18-wheeler moving about 60 miles an hour running into another 18-wheeler that is parked in the middle of the highway. I want to be extremely clear with you. I see it jump dead smack in the chest of this Bigfoot. I see the Bigfoot fly backwards. And after that, it was as if my eyes were moving too slow to keep up with whatever the hell was going on, because I only saw the aftermath. And the aftermath was absolutely terrifying. There was this giant tree back there, and half of that tree was gone, broken, split, splintered into pieces. And then and only then did the noises start again. Seriously, trust me, I've tried to listen to clip after clip after clip after audio. Man, there is no sound anything like these animals having a fight. I'm talking about otherworldly sounds that have haunted me in my sleep for years. Then, now listen, at this point in time, everything else that I'm going to say to you is me assuming that these things happen based on not only what I saw, but the reactions of the baby Bigfoots. One of them had to be thrown into another tree because I saw the damage of that tree. Then I heard those juvenile Bigfoots panicking again, the same tone they had 3 days before when they were afraid. Right then and there is when my common sense and survival instinct kicked in. I was no longer fascinated with anything going on. My brain started kicking in saying, hey, listen, you got monster UFC fighting going on the backside of your property within 50 yards of where you are. You're going to need to get the hell out of here. And it was right there in that moment when this irrational fear kicked in. And when I tell you it was an irrational fear, looking back on it now, what I did was absolutely stupid. I was already sitting in the side-by-side. I jumped up and took off running towards the house. Understand, I'm already in the side-by-side with it in reverse. I understand I'm already in the side-by-side. I get out and start running. I get a solid 30 yards away from the side-by-side and realize, wait, why am I running? Have to turn around, run back to the side-by-side, get in, put it in reverse, back out, turn around, and go back home. Now listen to me, I get back home, I'm completely emotionally drained. This fear has sucked all the energy out of me. So much so that I have to lay on a sofa and take a nap. My wife comes home, I explain to her what was going on and what I experienced, and she tells me it's probably a good idea that I don't go back to that side of the property anymore, just leave it alone. Then night falls and it sounds like freaking Jurassic Park out there. Then night falls and it sounds like freaking Jurassic Park on the backside of my property. I don't know who's fighting who. I don't know if it was a clan fighting a clan. I don't know if it's those two still going at it. It did not matter to me. I did not care. I know over the next couple of nights, my wife and I did not get any sleep because of the noises that we were hearing. And these noises was way off in the distance, but they were so loud they sounded like they were right outside of our window. Listen to me when I explain this to you. It got to the point that my wife and I decided the best thing we could do is go stay in a freaking hotel for a week. Are you listening to me? We stayed in a hotel for a week. After that week passed, we came home scared out of our minds, afraid of the sun going down. The sun goes down and we don't hear any noises. And we haven't heard any noises since. But let me tell you something. I don't even go anywhere near the backside of my property. It's theirs. If they want a cage fight back there, they can fight all they want. I don't have nothing to do with it. That's their business. They can consider that their property. I don't mess with it. I really don't.